A thread by Soul War. What's the plan, man? Day Who Gives a Fuck Anymore? 60 in Portland War Zone, Oregon, as the nightly battle between President Trump's team of law and order federal agents and the Democrats' team of Burn America Down Antifa and BLM continues to play out. No, it's not really a war zone. Apologies to those who have been in one, but the left sure is trying really hard to make it look like one. It's almost all dark street theater for the mainstream and social media's consumption. It's a PR war for sure, and these troglodytes think they're winning. They're not. And by what I saw last night, they're losing badly and are simply too blind to see it. By sundown last night, the usual massive throng of supporters had arrived. 3,000 plus, milling about. Last night, the security fence had been toppled and broken apart as the mob had used power tools, circular saws, and acetylene torches on it until it gave in at key points. Then hardcore Antifa rushed the courthouse. The feds promptly beat them back with tear gas and pepper balls. A thwack or two from a baton may have been seen. The Antifa goon squads and the feds battled back and forth all night. That was Saturday night. From Elijah Schaefer. While Antifa and BLM rioters breached the federal courthouse, DHS quickly responded with an intense offensive. The camera goes black when I was directly hit by a hot tear gas canister right after I got shot by a rubber bullet in my crotch, 2 inches from my PP. Sorry for the extra information, guys. Now, the feds have made marked improvements to the security fence. Concrete barriers resting on the inner supports and bracing segments to keep the rampaging mental pygmies from seesawing it over like last time. Last night, the fence held. No breaches, also no fires. Hardcore Antifa still tried doggedly for hours to get in, to no avail. They hurled bottles, debris, and commercial fireworks at the agents whenever they appeared to do a fence check, and the green lasers zoomed about trying to blind them. But no more Molotovs. Word has gotten out. Those illegal kidnappings by Trump's stormtroopers are having the desired effect. Some of those yanked out of bed in the last 48 hours were almost certainly some of the Molotov throwers. People tell me the feds are soft for releasing them on bond. No, they're not. It is common practice to observe and track the movements, meeting, and communications of known terrorists. I didn't see one fire near the courthouse last night after seeing Antifa set numerous ones for weeks. Last night was actually pretty dull until 2 a.m. Pacific time. Surprise! The federal agents came out in 4 teams, fairly well spaced, about 60 of them, and took up position along the outer fence line. Antifa, confused, fell back before the feds' brazen move. A few objects were thrown, but that was all. They milled about. No lasers, no fireworks. I was watching this live on off Meta Media's live stream, who, as far as I can tell, is an actual journalist. I grew apprehensive as the agents stood at the fence line for several minutes. They were easily outnumbered 7 or 8 to 1, but Antifa seemed off balance. After 4 minutes, Antifa began to surround the agents, enveloping them and closing off points of egress along the fence. Uh-oh, I thought. Here come the hurled objects, lasers and fireworks. Damn it. Who ordered them to go out there? The agents just stood there. Suddenly, hey, is that tear gas over there? The agents wanted Antifa close, and just as they began to chant their usual mindless slogans at them, they struck. "Oh noes! Run! Flee! Flee for your very lives!" "Gotcha, bitch!" A high value target, arrest, HVT, goes down right in front of the cameraman. The hardcore Antifa fights hard, kicking the agents and tries to buck them off. "Get off of me!" she wails. Her efforts are futile. It takes two grown men to subdue this feral wildcat as another stands watch. The agents do that for a reason. Here comes that reason. Her buddy Antifa, they assign to interfere in any arrest of her. She'd do the same for him. They pair up and train to do this. Her attempt to break the officer's grip on her fails, and he then beats a hasty retreat before he can be detained for interfering. It takes almost a minute to subdue her as another threat develops. A lunatic wielding a baseball bat threatens the agents, daring them to shoot him. "Come on, you coward bitches, shoot me!" He brandishes the bat, but doesn't advance. The agents regard him with apparent contempt as their fellow agents finish the arrest. Antifa press are there filming it eagerly. Headline: "Helpless female protester beaten by Nazis." At least 3 more arrests of HVTs, high value targets, are going down off camera. And I had been worried about the agents. Bat Boy keeps abusing the agents verbally. In any other setting, he'd be at gunpoint right now and ordered to drop the bat. Tonight, the agents ignore him. One of the other HVTs is escorted into the courthouse as Antifa begins to recover from their shock. Yes, the federal agents just came out, stood toe to toe with Antifa, and then yanked 4 of them out of the mob, and they did it in their face. So far, all they've done is film it. 2 more HVTs are moved away as the mob recovers its venom and begins shining the lasers and chanting. However, I didn't see any thrown objects. Not when the agents are on this side of the security fence and are making arrests. Bam! Another HVT in custody. This makes 4 so far. The mob mills about, cursing the agents, but it's clear their morale has taken a serious hit. Hardcore Antifa posture and bluster, but don't engage to try to free their comrades. The agents own this ground. And I tweeted too soon. One Antifa did try to flee their buddy and got dogpiled. Chalk up arrest number 5. Antifa is still milling about, utterly leaderless, a body without a head. The original arrest is now on her feet, still fighting the agents. They hold her off balance to keep her from kicking them and again move off. Arrest number 5 is also moved away and appears to be a heavy-set Antifa mom. Drone model! She shouts abuse at them every step of the way. A large number of Portland Police Bureau, hereinafter PPB, show up to assist with the mob. I guess dissing Mayor Wheeler when he made his appearance here to support Antifa was a bad move, huh? The mob is moved further back, as it's clear the feds and PPB are not playing tonight. The next several hours are spent keeping the mob away from the courthouse to prevent any reprisals. The feds and PPB work in unison, pushing Antifa and disrupting any attempts to rally. Tonight was a complete victory for the federal teams. Now, here's the point of this thread. Over the last 3 weeks, 48 of Antifa's leaders and their most violent hardcore members have been scooped up. What I saw from Saturday, directed efforts, power tools, Antifa teams moving with purpose, to last night, milling about literally at the mercy of the feds, is amazing. Tonight, at least 5 high-value targets were snatched right out of the mob, with 2 additional for assaulting officers. all will face serious time if charged. Here's what I've just now realized. How many businesses are in downtown Portland? Hundreds? Thousands? Most are closed because of the chaos. What President Trump and Attorney General Barr are doing is focusing all of Antifa's destructive efforts on the federal courthouse. Antifa hate all businesses as capitalism. I know, while they're draped in gear and devices created by corporations, they're irrational zombies. So, President Trump is waving a shiny, bright target in the face of the baby brained mob to keep them from utterly wrecking Portland's business district, a la Minneapolis in late May. And except for some random looting and vandalism, it is working. Hey, last night was day 60, and only now does some of Antifa suddenly realize they're giving capitalism a pass in favor of smashing themselves into that federal courthouse wall over and over as their leaders are ID'd and grabbed. Gee, I wonder what the Department of Justice could have done with those 60 days of preparation for when the dimwit brigade figured out they were being played. So many late hot takes on what's playing out at the Justice Center. This is the most violent and destructive Antifa group on Twitter. FNW Youth Liberation Front tweets. Live streamers are doing the Fed's surveillance and scouting work for them. Whether they like it or not, they are serving as a literal counterintelligence operation for Fed forces. Any with a conscience will shut down their dreams, and if they don't, they should be forced out. Suddenly realizing that guerrilla warfare, read terrorism, using the generation called the selfie nation may not be a good mix. But wait, there's more from Elijah Schaefer. Hey, Rose City Antifa, glad you took my statement seriously. You're better off because of it. Now we can both go to sleep without substantial injuries. Let's keep it that way. After all, we're essentially co-workers at this point. By the way, the DC Democrats think you're a myth. Anyone with a brain can game the living fuck out of these problem children because their leadership is not there. Last night was a sea change in the PR battle for Portland. Every mainstream media outlet is selling you fear, anger, lust, jealousy 24/7. My respect and admiration for these federal officers for what they have endured to accomplish this is very high. I predict President Trump and AG Barr will soon move to cut off the money funding all of this. I post these 3 pictures for no reason whatsoever. You see, it isn't just a PR war versus the Democrats being fought in Portland. It is a proxy war being fought on U.S. soil. It's okay, though. President Trump, Attorney General Barr, and Secretary of Defense Esper are crushing it as the MSM lies spinning faster and faster. The street theater in Portland will continue, I'm sure, on pure inertia as entitled commie brats continue to gather, chant, march, probably smash some stuff, but nothing systemic any longer. They've been decapitated. When Trump deems it's time, this dark charade will end. There will be setbacks from the left. The enemy gets a vote, as always, but like November 3rd, 2020, the outcome has never been in doubt because America chose a champion worthy of that title to lead us out of the darkness and into the dawn, a victory we will have earned in the soul war. To support Brent's works, you can donate any amount here, paypal.me/Brent Cates. Brent thanks you.